SmallRig RC100B, Godox ML100Bi. These are two 100-watt lights, both bicolor, and very similar size. In this video, I'm going to compare these two lights from the perspective of a documentary filmmaker who travels on an airplane and is working on a very low budget, and then wants to use these lights as a key light to film sit-down interviews. You have two ways to power the Godox. There's no internal battery, so you can only power it through a DC 20 volt or a USB-C power. With the SmallRig, there's three ways to power this. You can do the DC input, which is 24 volts, not 20, a USB-C, or an included built-in V-mount battery. You do not have a V-mount battery option here. You need to have a V-mount battery adapter, and then you can go here if you want to go handheld. I am going to do it plugged into the wall so that the V-mount isn't as important to me, but this is why I believe the SmallRig is a little more expensive than the Godox because of that pretty good power option if you're working remote. When it comes to the mounting system, this comes with this stand here, this adapter. So it's 1/4 and there is some ridges so it doesn't twist. But that's all you get. You only have that one spot. And it's in a shape that I haven't seen in any other type of light like this besides the Zhiyun is sort of like that. There's a Zhiyun 100 watt that is somewhat of this form factor, and there might be one by Newer, but this one's quite small, and I do like how flat this and the accessories are for this lights, and that's going to be a plus later on when I talk about the accessories. To adjust the color temperature or the brightness, you have to hit this button in and it switches between both. And you can see there's two fans here. This does get hot and the fans turn on within 5 minutes of the light blasting. The noise isn't that loud that I notice unless you have a microphone up close to the fans, which, you know, most people don't have that. With the SmallRig here, I think I like the mount here, the light. I like the light stand mount a lot better than what Godox has. This is a very standard mount that comes with a lot of their strobes and their smaller LEDs. It's the same thing, but this one, it feels bigger, better built, and I like the way it connects. It feels more positively connected than the Godox. The color temperature and the brightness each have their own knobs, and you can push them in and go into all the effects, and they have a lot more menu selections you can in this, but it's really easy, and I did this in my test, to accidentally, when I'm adjusting, when I want to lock the color temperature, I accidentally move this knob, and it's really easy to throw your color temperature off when you're adjusting. Both of these lights also have an app that can control them, but I'm not going to go into the app in this video. Here is the front of the LED. They both have their own proprietary mount that is not Bowen's mount. So I do have adapters because I have some Bowen's mount modifiers that I want to put on here. Here are the reflectors that come with each light. The Godox one, the L15, this is more of a Fresnel lens, and the SmallRig is more of a traditional reflector. I've already traveled with this on an airplane, and this one, even though it's all metal, it's very thin, and I tried to stuff it so that it wouldn't damage the shell here, but it did get crushed and it was squished, and I had to undo it to make it circular again. I don't think I fixed it completely, so this was pretty easy to damage during a flight, unless you really protect it, which I should have. Now that I know how delicate it is, I really got to protect this. This one also comes with a frost right here that you can just put on, and that diffuses the light. I never use this, but it comes with that, and this one does not come with any kind of frost. When you put them on, this not only is built better, it has a flatter profile. Pop that one on. So now that I have them on, you can see that the SmallRig is a lot longer, and you can't really fit this in a carrying case when you're going around. You always have to detach that reflector. But the benefit of this Godox is because it's so flat and compact and quite durable, I might pack this whole light in just like this and then cover this up with some kind of t-shirt or like a foam cover. This could be way more portable and lightweight. And if I get two of these, I might put them back to back and then put these somewhere off in another bag. But I do like the compactness and the portability of these two lights. The specs online, when you compare just the brightness output, what I like to do is compare it with 3200 and 5600. There's other, on the Kelvin scale for both lights, they have slightly different brightness levels, but I'm just looking at the 5600 and the 3200, and in my test, I'm only gonna test the 5600. But what I've read online is that the output of the SmallRig here, without the modifier, the output of the SmallRig without the reflector is brighter than the Godox without its reflector. But when you put the reflector on, the Godox is brighter because this is not just a reflector, this is a Fresnel lens. When you're putting on a softbox, you're not using the reflector. So that's where the SmallRig has a slight advantage because it's brighter without the reflector than this is without its reflector. Here's the Explore 300. It's a strobe. It says it's flashpoint, but it's Godox too. The mounting right here is the same mount as this Godox. So that means this adapter here, the MLGB, this is whatever this mount is, the Godox mount to Bowen's mount, works the same. You can pop it on here, and there you go. I also have a diffusion modifier. This one right here, a bubble diffusion. So this one, it fits on this Godox. Take it out, put this off. And if I wanted maximum coverage of a room, put it on like that. When it comes to the SmallRig, if you want to put Bowens on there, you got to use this adapter. I believe this is the only adapter that you can get. I haven't seen a third-party adapter that fits the SmallRig mount to Bowens. This is it. You have to get this. I've read some complaints about this setup. I haven't had too big of an issue with it. It does force you to use the mount that's included. It's pretty much all plastic, and the tension right here to go up and down, it's plastic. These are plastic teeth, and they're not as sturdy. So if you have really heavy soft boxes, that's not gonna work. You're gonna have to have something much lighter. Even with these Bowens mount adapters, you can see that they're different. They're built different. The Godox takes less space, more compact. SmallRig, kind of clunky. When it comes to their AC units, here's the SmallRigs, here is the Godox. They have pretty long cables, so I'm not worried about bringing extra stingers. With the Godox, it's a 2-prong and then a DC connection like that. The SmallRig has a 3-prong and it has this connection right here. Now I'm gonna weigh all of the accessories and the light itself and compare the size difference. So when you're flying on an airplane, the weight really matters. So not just the bulk, but the weight. So let's weigh everything. I'm including all of the accessories here, the reflector right there. Yeah, I'll include the diffuse and then pop on the adapter. 3.6 pounds. Okay, now we're gonna do the Godox adapter. There you go. 2.96 pounds. So I have the ML100 approximately 3 feet from this chart, but let me see how much lux is hitting it. Okay, there's about 2,200 lux hitting that when it's completely bare. Okay, the reflector is added, and that is gone. That's completely blown out. I would not shoot an interview like this. That is now 14,000 LUTs. Okay, now for the final test, I have the SmallRig LA90 softbox on here, Bowens mount. And that is 1,200. SmallRig RC100B. Here's a lux reading at 3 feet. 2,700 lux. That is bright. Okay, that is 100% just burning a hole on that color chart. Okay, that's 9,000 LUTs. Last but not least, there's that 90-inch SmallRig modifier, 1,600. Okay, so that was my comparison between these two lights. I am personally leaning towards the Godox right here, the ML100Bi, mostly because it weighs less and it's more compact. But what do you guys think? Do you guys have a favorite? Do you own both of these? Am I missing something here that one is better than the other? Or maybe it doesn't matter? If I got two of these, should I get two of the Godox or two of the SmallRigs? Or maybe I can just combine both of them. Although I do know that when it comes to the color accuracy, the SmallRig, in other video reviews I've seen, the SmallRig is slightly more accurate in its color than the Godox. But to me, it doesn't matter, except when I mix and match. So that's why maybe I might not carry both of them, and I want to have the same light.